People have spent thousands of dollars to actually make this happen so that you could watch those videos. Where's the sun? I mean, you can just believe NASA and believe the Earth is the third rock from the sun. These people have spent time and money over years and years to put these balloons up and find out where the sun is. Now they never make any claims about where the sun is, but they put these balloons up, and you benefit from looking at it. Now, so when we watch those videos,
wait, birds and snakes and airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not a the business first flat earthers licking their wounds. The business first flat earthers licking their wounds. Fire the countries in ruins. First flat earthers licking their wounds.
Outer space, these images. Outer space, these images. Outer space, these images.
Window in the belly of the space station.
Outer space, these images.
You don't see the same shot over and over again because your orbit changes.
Yeah, our orbit stays fixed. It's sort of like a ball in a string.
Outer space, these images.
And it was
outer space, these images.
To me.
Can you see outer space, these images? When you're in outer space, can you see like outer space, these images?
Or something like that, depends.
Yeah, outer space, these images.
I think you say
outer space, these images.
Oh, and yeah, the Amazon also.
Would it be possible to have, do we have a camera? It's 92 minutes that could give us just 92 minutes of what it looks like and what you could see from your eye?
Do your best to take pictures of it. It's just flat gorgeous to see.
But I mean, what we saw, is that anything like
the visuals?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they're the most compelling visuals of any space movie ever made. Huge, vast expanse. The movie, if you want to get some feel of what it's like, that movie shows it the best.
Oh, wow.
Outer space, these images.
But I mean, what we saw, is that anything like
the visuals?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Let's talk about music. I dig blues music. We don't like children's music. No.
What music are you into? I like this. It's very grown up.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Everybody knows that. It's a complete hoax. This is a hoax. It's a shame. And that was the second story to a total hoax.
Just spotlights the underlying inequalities and extra burdens that black communities have historically had to deal with in this country. We see it in the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on our communities. Just as we see it when a black man goes for a jog and some folks feel like they can stop and question and shoot him if he doesn't submit to their questioning. Injustice like this isn't new. What is new is that so much of your generation.
You know what it is? I talk to the audience like I talk to my friends, and people inherently will be shocked by that. Some people. But I just think that to talk to the audience conversationally is better than putting on an act.
Open your mind. Open your mind.
tell us is a fallacy. We're surrounded with false information and negativity. Look for truth, they're stripping us of nature and ripping us from reality. Don't believe me, look for yourself and use your eyes that can see. I can't believe you really want to try me, man. I need you to know that this is exactly what I planned. You were supposed to stay in the darkness and damned, but now you're here. Illuminati wants you to kick this off, turn around and run as quickly as you can. Revealing the truth is something they just simply cannot stand. If you stay with me for long enough, I'll brainwash you into thinking for yourself. And pretty soon you'll understand where I'm coming from. You'll see that this is reality and nothing else. Anybody living on a ball, give them a lesson. Tell them Earth is flat, and then simply answer their questions. The truth doesn't fear investigation.
What's his name? Felix Baumgartner. He would have been,
And the dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon? No! That stuff is flat! That stuff is flat!
Wherever it leads, follow the truth.
Flat!
Deep over my bubble. It's hard to comprehend. Space is fake AF. Two little bitty acres. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. Research. Research. You just have a leak, and what you would do is lose air.
Is that real? That's a real site?
Yeah, hashtag space is fake.
All kinds
of stuff. Want to listen to some tunes?
Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons. You see the gas. It don't make sense. Sounds not the limit. If I do move, it'll sunk in. But we haven't been back since 1972. Destroyed all the papers and blew up the Challenger crew. Except for the twinsies. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. Look out into deep space away from the sun is the darkest mind you can imagine. Hey space boy, you broke my rocket heart. Where are the stars? Is it bright or is it dark? The vacuum of space, oh the tomfoolery. What happens if you get a leak on that? You have a leak. I just wanna run. Some days I'm racing the sun. Some days I can't find my way. Some days I'm lost in space. Countdown. I'm seeing stars. Am I asleep or am I awake? I'm lost in space.
of seeing stars. Am I asleep or am I awake? I'm lost in space. I'm lost in space. I'm lost in space.
It's a black hole.
Felix Baumgartner. He would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump.
It's hard to comprehend. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
Research. Research. You just have a leak, and what you would do, you lose air.
Is that real? That's a real site?
Yeah, hashtag space is fake.
Okay.
Have you ever looked away and listened to some tunes?
Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons. You see the gas.
It don't make sense. Now it's not the limit. In fact, to the moon, even there is sunken. But we haven't been back since 1972. Destroyed all the papers and blew up the Challenger crew. Except for the twinsies. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
Look out into deep space away from the sun is the darkest mind you can imagine.
Hey, space boy, you broke my rocket man heart. Where are the stars? Is it bright or is it dark? The vacuum of space, oh, the tomfoolery.
What happens if you get a leak on that? You have a leak.
Stuff, the earth together, essentially how much stuff is in the earth. It's pulling it down, pulling it together. Essentially, the bigger you build the thing, the more the force is. Together, essentially, like some sort of misshape, potato shape. So together, essentially, aim in every direction.
Hello YouTube. For more of the same, just click here and don't forget
50 years ago, man first stepped. I'm not here to pay tribute to the Apollo 11 astronauts.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike, it really is.
Instead, I'd like to celebrate a group of brave Americans who haven't gotten their due. Without the moon landing, we wouldn't have moon landing deniers, valiant theorists who've inspired us to see that science is merely a suggestion.
It is my personal belief, and I totally believe this after all the years of research I've done on this, that NASA never landed a man on the moon.
If it were so easy to go to the moon 40 years ago, there would be bases there by now.
There's overwhelming proof that it didn't happen. It's sometimes translucent. You can see through it, right?
As the scientist right next to the moon landing denier makes clear, there is room for doubt. JFK gets all the credit for getting us to the moon.
We choose to go to the moon.
But we shan't forget the JFK of moon landing deniers.
Men have never landed on the moon.
Bill Kaysing is an undersung American hero. In the mid-1970s, Kaysing had the courage to assert that we never went to the moon. In his cleverly titled book, We Never Went to the Moon. The moon hoax theory exploded in 1978 with the release of the classic film Capricorn 1.
This is Capricorn Control. We're at T-minus 15 minutes.
Telling the story of a faked mission to Mars, the film appeared on the surface to be mindless entertainment, but astute conspiracy theorists saw it as a documentary worthy of Werner Herzog. The super realistic special effects and the acting chops of O.J. Simpson,
These people are capable of anything.
made viewers absolutely certain that we never went to the moon. In 1980, the president of the Flat Earth Society lent his prestige to the burgeoning moon hoax movement. Now, you could argue that the flat earthers were just pissed at Apollo 11 for sending back pictures like this. But moon hoax whistleblowers remained unfazed. In the 1990s, a new scientific invention posed an existential threat to conspiracy theorists everywhere.
I took the initiative in creating the internet.
The internet. Verifiable facts can now reach more people, threatening the future of unproven speculation. Luckily, moon hoax evangelists were able to share the gospel faster than you can say, "You got moon." Bold voices were willing to question missing NASA footage and other truth-adjacent theories, eventually making their way to respected media outlets and Fox.
For NASA to come out and say that all the tapes were erased, I mean, it's incredible.
There are a couple of questions that I do have from time to time. Who shot the footage?
I see a lot of footage that gets doctored.
How in the world do you erase the tapes of the most historic event in 2,000 years? I mean, it's not like it was a bar mitzvah.
Full disclosure, my parents did erase the tape of my bar mitzvah. And adding insult to injury, this is what they taped over it.
We're in too deep to stop now.
It's time to finally give America's intrepid conspiracy theorists the credit they richly deserve. Blessed with the gift of cojones, these deniers are bravely willing to ignore scientific findings and video evidence in favor of an America where everyone is free to ask questions until the science matches their feelings.
My current opinion about vaccinations is that they have never been safe.
Evolution, Big Bang Theory, all that is lies straight from the pit of hell.
I just don't think climate change is real.
Climate changes. Asking questions is good. There are no dumb questions.
Right. In the face of mounting evidence, is there ever a time to stop challenging accepted science? For the final word on that, I'll turn to supposed astronaut Buzz Aldrin.
Why don't you swear in the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself. Away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a...
There are a group of people that absolutely and honestly believe the earth is flat. The earth is flat.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go.
The earth is flat. is flat. The earth is flat.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. Later, there's no place to go.
Obviously, so they can bully the mathematicians and give us astronomers.
In other breaking news, the world is flat, 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 not round, flat, 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 flat.
You remember the stonecutters, Grandpa?
Oh, sure. Let's see. I'm an elk, a mason, a mason, a mason.
Starts with an earth, flat background. Wait, birds and snakes, an airplane. And Lenny Bruce is not a.
Business first, flat earthers licking their wounds. Business first, flat earthers licking their wounds. Fire, the country's in ruins. First, flat earthers licking their wounds.
What's this flat earth thing?
So you get to about 8 years old and you're like, okay, I'm on a sphere. So your first thought is to get off or know what else is going on nearby this sphere. And you're like, what they say is, we're in charge of that, and it's called space. And we can't actually get very far. And the nearest place is like 1,000,000,000 billion trillion miles away. And you can't ever get to it. But we can send you the images of what we can see, and we'll let you know what we see. And that's kind of a torturous prisoner energy. You're stuck here on a ball, giving faith to others to know what's going on. But don't worry, as they are firing rockets to space to explain. Trust them. They are looking after things. And we pay them vast sums of cash so they can look after it all. Then a massive propaganda machine backs this up from a multitude of different angles. So you're around 9 years old, and they push everything away from you. In mainstream history, they push dinosaurs to 250 million years away, and cavemen to 2 million years away. They push the luminaries in the sky away from you, millions, billions, and trillions of miles away. They even tell you that some of the luminaries in the sky are dead. They're not even there, and you are seeing something that happened millions, billions, and trillions of years ago. They tell you that the nearest galaxy, and remember folks, galaxies don't exist, is 2.2 million light years away. And remember that just 1 light year is 6 trillion miles. It's unreal. They push stuff away from you at a young age to cement into your subconscious you are an insignificant random ant. Well, monkey ant. Ant monkey. Then get this, they tell you around 9 years old that the sun is in the middle of its life cycle and will explode in about 4 billion years, and that in the few 100 million years before the explosion, it will swell up and swallow the earth. But it doesn't matter, as you won't be here. They are telling children the end of humanity is a certainty, a pure certainty, but it doesn't matter, as you won't be here. They tell children that asteroids might crash into the earth and destroy it, and pitchfork that fear trauma deep into the subconscious too.
What did you do at school today, Mikey?
Oh, they told me the sun will swallow the earth and wipe out humanity.
Yes, of course. Well, you won't be here, as you're only here once as a speck of monkey ant energy, so it doesn't matter. So run along and play with your iPad before I dish up some fluoride, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup.
Hey, Mum, I love that star in the sky. That one twinkling pretty colours.
Oh, that's not there, Mikey. It actually blew up and died millions of years ago, just like our sun will. What you see in the sky is just an echo.
Mum, at school, they also told me that at any time, a giant asteroid flying fast through space could hit the Earth and wipe us all out.
Yes, that's right, Mikey. So make sure you have a little bit of fear about this every day of your life in the subconscious.
See, these aren't cool programs to put into children. It's seriously dark and messed up. And it's all based on the repetition of millions, billions, and trillions.
Billion, 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 billion. I took astronomy from Carl Sagan.
As you get a bit older, they then trick you to think that the outer space Scooby-Doo land is acting the same as your body. It's all such an elaborate lie. History and the sky is pushed away from you as a child, and they spend millions, billions and trillions of dollars pushing this stuff away from you, out of your mental reach, too far for your consciousness to understand or grasp. It's highly likely we're only 700 years in from the count, and not 2017 years, but do your own research. I mean, you really think that they can go so far to lie about where you are, that they won't lie about what has happened here? Stonehenge and the Sphinx both look a bit super Lego construction toy energy. And many ancient sites have metal rebar in the stone. That's not right. But schools are nothing more than factories for reprogramming humans. So, flat Earth. Well, B.O.B. said the Earth was flat, and a few days later NASA responded with gravitational waves. Then Kyrie Irving said the Earth is flat, and a few days later NASA responded with they found 7 new planets. They're in damage mitigation, and they know it. So the dome v infinite plane debate is ramping up. It seems there could be a psyop for the dome. The firmament comes from the Hebrew word rachia, which really translates to expanse, not firmament. But maybe it's not a dome or an infinite plane. The Vedic scriptures didn't have a dome or an infinite plane in their cosmology. They had other land, and an edge. It does have to be said though, it is a massive paradigm shift if you live in an enclosed system, or in a free expansive system with other land. So it's wise flat earthers think about this a little bit. It also has to be said that an enclosed system is anti-freedom, just like the ball. So think deeply before putting your hat on the dome, especially if you are doing this solely from a mistranslated word. Shouting from one corner, dome or infinite plane, seems a little strange. As for sure, a dome is not proven, and nor is an infinite plane. You can see my Vedic documentary if you're interested in the alternative out there. One thing's for sure, Flat Earth is going very mainstream soon, and the craziness has not even yet started. On a final note, if anyone else is interested in the North Pole project, we are open to millions, billions, and trillions.
Why are you so sure they're coming here?
Well, because mosquitoes, these kind of mosquitoes are here in the United States. And we now know that these mosquitoes can get Zika virus very easily from biting somebody. And the world is flat, right? The World Cup happened. And then all of a sudden, people from Brazil went all over the world and transmitted Zika.
So if in fact somebody comes here and has the Zika virus and a mosquito bites them, then that mosquito can spread it anywhere.
Exactly. One can lead to thousands.
What about the Summer Games, the Olympic Games, and the possibility of there, you have people from all around the world going to a place where they could contact Zika and then returning, spreading back out around the world with Zika contamination.
It's a public health nightmare. And so I think when we all look at this, we have to learn from it. Zika will be the first of many viruses over the years because the world is flat. You know, yesterday they discovered the papers of the guy who discovered Zika in the 1950s. 1950s.
Attended something called the Flat Earth. The Earth is flat, whether it's OJ didn't really do it, whether it's we didn't land on the moon. Flat Earth, the Earth is flat, whether it's OJ didn't really do it. The Earth is flat, whether it's we didn't land on the moon. Whether it's we didn't land on the moon. The Earth is flat.
The Earth was flat as a pizza.
Looks incredibly flat.
That stuff is flat. Is flat. That stuff is flat.
The epigram on that is, the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you.
That's rational.
And I've tweeted that before.
Amazing. What an amazing cheat.
Your moment of Zen.
Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those For 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 fundamentally from those
Mr. Speaker, I've always been interested in origins. Even though my training is in the law and in history, it has ever been an avocation of mine to contemplate and to study the origins of man and of life here on Earth. And many theories of origins have been propounded throughout our nation's history. 1859, a sincere biologist returned from the Galapagos Islands and wrote a book entitled The Origins of Species, in which Charles Darwin offered a theory of the origin of species, which we've come to know as evolution. Charles Darwin never thought of evolution as anything other than a theory. He hoped that someday it would be proven by the fossil record, but did not live to see that, nor have we. 1925, in the famous Scopes monkey trial, this theory made its way through litigation into the classrooms of America, and we all have seen the consequence over the last 77 years. Evolution not taught as a sincere theory of biologists, but rather, Mr. Speaker, taught as fact. And lest anyone listening in would doubt that, we can all see in our mind's eye that grade room classroom we all grew up in with the linear depiction of evolution just above the chalkboard. There's the little monkey crawling on the grass. There's the Neanderthal with his knuckles dragging, and then there's Mel Gibson standing in all of his glory. It is what we have been taught, that man proceeded and evolved along linear lines. But now comes a new find by paleontologists in the newspapers all across America. A new study in Nature magazine, 6 to 7 million year old skull has been unearthed, the Torme skull, and it suggests that human evolution was actually, according to a new theory, human evolution was taking place, and I'm quoting now, all across Africa and on the earth, and the earth was once truly, and I quote, a planet of the apes on which nature was experimenting with many human-like creatures. Paleontologists are excited about this, Mr. Speaker, but no one's pointing out that the textbooks, I guess, will need to be changed, because the old theory of evolution, taught for 77 years in the classrooms of America as fact, is suddenly replaced by a new theory, or I hasten to add, I'm sure we'll be told, a new fact. Well, the truth is, it always was a theory, Mr. Speaker. And now that we've recognized evolution as a theory, I would simply and humbly ask, can we teach it as such? And can we also consider teaching other theories of the origin of species, like the theory that was believed in by every signer of the Declaration of Independence? Every signer of the Declaration of Independence believed that men and women were created and were endowed by that same Creator with certain unalienable rights. The Bible tells us that God created man in His own image, male and female, He created them. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker. I believe that God created the known universe, the earth and everything in it, including man. And I also believe that someday scientists will come to see that only the theory of intelligent design provides even a remotely rational explanation for the known universe. But until that day comes, and I have no fear of science, I believe that the more we study the science, the more the truths of faith will become apparent. I just would humbly ask, as new theories of evolution find their ways into the newspapers and into the textbooks, let us demand that educators around America teach evolution not as fact, but as theory, and an interesting theory to boot. But let's also bring into the minds of all of our children all of the theories about the unknowable, that some bright day in the future, through science and perhaps through faith, we will find the truth of from whence we come. And I yield back.
I believe the world is flat. Don't care what you think or anyone else. So I believe the world is flat, 'cause I calculated it myself. You keep mentioning these guys who claim the world is round, some guys who claim to know about the universe. Let's face it, Aristotle, that was really long ago, and Dawkins is just biased, even worse. You keep quoting all these articles to try to prove your point. Keep sending me to Wikipedia, but why should I believe anything they have to say? It's just mainstream media. Whoa, whoa. I believe the world is flat. Don't care what you think or anyone else. So I believe the world is flat, 'cause I calculated it myself. I don't care about millennia of research. I've got a critical mind. I've got my telescope and my calculator. The truth is mine to find. Now I'll admit it's been a while since I've done much math, but I remember some trigonometry. Cosine and sine are the same for 45, so they're probably pretty close for 90 degrees. So I believe the world is flat. Don't care what you think or anyone else. So I believe the world is flat, 'cause I calculated it myself. Now you, my friend, are the scientific type. Don't believe everything you read online. Take my telescope and do your own calculations. You'll find they agree with mine. So you say you've done the math and think I've made a few mistakes. Guess we'll have to agree to disagree. Your opinion is no better than my own, I am afraid. I'll believe what I want, this is a free country. Well, I believe the world is flat. Don't care what you think or anyone else. So I believe the world is flat, 'cause I calculated it myself.
Let's say you fly, I know a number, which is the speed the protons go around the Large Hadron Collider. So they go around the Large Hadron Collider at 99.99999%. This is 7,000 times more. 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999, 9.99999.
Secrets. Fuck secrets. You think you can Photoshop? Think again.
And now I think it's time you get.
There's a thing called the internet.
A what?
There's a thing called the internet.
A what?
Alex Jones told Jesse
The Earth is a flat.
That's believable. That's us.
The Earth is a flat.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
The Earth is a flat. You understand that?
That's unbelievable.
Earth is a flat.
That's unbelievable.
Do you understand that? And that's the Earth is a flat. The Earth is a flat. The Earth is a flat. The Earth is a flat.
There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
If you show this publicly, you're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
102.
Do what the man says, and he's Wogan.
Was deemed unfit for viewing, cut, and presumably supposed to be destroyed. In the 1970s, the clip clearly shows the shaking.
They didn't try to use against the machine was water.
Dirt is flat.
What? The Earth is flat?
Yes. So, what's your proof?
Why not? Because I don't care, because I have other things on my mind.
They enslave us with that lie.
They enslave us?
Yes. They did.
Are you from the Matrix?
I'm not, but I know more than you.
Why is flat Earth so meaningful to you?
Because it affects all of us.
Because it affects all of us.
Yes, my friend. They enslave us all with that lie, my friend.
Yeah.
What, give me?
No.
Lower the globe!
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still? Are you really in space still?
See the hair?
I don't know. We're going to have to do something for you.
Yeah.
I
want to do it. I know.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this.
Our eyes and experience tell us the Earth is flat and motionless, and everything in the sky revolves around us. But when we cease to believe our own eyes and experience, we have to prostrate ourselves at the feet of these very pseudoscientists who are blinding us, treat them as experts, astronomical priests who have special knowledge only they can access, like the Hubble telescope. So by brainwashing us of something so gigantic and fundamental, it actually makes every other kind of lesser indoctrination a piece of cake. Earth being the flat, fixed center of the universe around which everything in the heavens revolves, gives a special importance and significance not only to Earth, but to us humans, the most intelligent among the intelligent designers' designs. By turning Earth into a spinning ball thrown around the sun and shot through infinite space from a godless Big Bang, they turn humanity into a random, meaningless, purposeless accident of a blind, dumb universe. So it's like trauma-based mind control, beating the divinity out of us with their mental manipulations. People are always asking, why do they do this? I mean, this is
I mean, other than the obvious profit margin motive, NASA being the biggest black budget black hole in existence, sucking in over $30 billion taxpayer money for the fake moon landings alone. Nowadays, hundreds of billions of dollars, and not just NASA, but RASA and all the other fake space organizations around the world, giving CGI images for hundreds of billions of dollars. So this modern atheist Big Bang heliocentric globe Earth chance evolution paradigm spiritually controls humanity by removing God or any sort of intelligent design and replaces purposeful divine creation with haphazard random cosmic coincidence. And so by removing Earth from the motionless center of the universe, these Masons have moved us physically and metaphysically from a place of supreme importance to one of complete nihilistic indifference. If the Earth is the center of the universe, then the ideas of God, creation, and a purpose for human existence are resplendent. But if the Earth is just one of billions of planets revolving around billions of stars and billions of galaxies, then the ideas of God, creation, and a specific purpose for Earth and human existence become highly implausible. So by surreptitiously indoctrinating us into their scientific materialist sun worship, not only do we lose faith in anything beyond the material, we gain absolute faith in materiality, superficiality, status, selfishness, hedonism, and consumerism. If there's no God and everyone's just an accident, then all that really matters is me, me, me. So they've turned Madonna and the mother of God into the material girl living in a material world. Their rich, powerful corporations with their slick sun cult logos sell us idols to worship, slowly taking over the world while we tacitly believe their science, vote for their politicians, buy their products, listen to their music, watch their movies, all sacrificing our souls at the altar of materialism.
Touche, my man.
It's a big deception. I'd say it's the biggest cover-up and conspiracy in history. We've been completely deluded for 500 years. Not everybody, but nowadays it's pretty well advanced.
Yeah.
Most of the flat Earth material you'll find still in existence is from the 1800s, and there was quite a debate going on then. So there's still quite a few people unconvinced of the spinning ball theory back then. But nowadays with NASA and all the photo and videos that they give us, people don't really look at too much further for evidence, as they assume that that's all real.
Crisis with his blunt and sobering assessments of
this is like living a science fiction movie, right? Oh, it's all surreal. For the best is for the worst.
If I wasn't listening carefully after war.
We Corona sass.
Do you feel wartime?
Sass. Well, sass. It's sass. City sass. Yes, invisible city going to die. No, we do. City we do. We going to die. Going to die. We do. This is your mother's, my mother going to die. No, it's our grandparents. This is our parents we have dealt with. Before.
Let's talk about Trump.
But I don't operate on. I operate on the data and on the numbers and on the science. And every projection I have from multiple, and these are worldwide. The whole facility, Lester, stays empty, and we built it for nothing. This whole facility, Lester, stays empty, and we built it for nothing. That's going to be the case. No nurse, no doctor can say legitimately. Failure. People are complaining about the CDC crisis guidelines about how many gowns people should have, how often they should change their gowns, how often they should change their masks, etc. They think that the change in the CDC guidelines doesn't protect them.
Drumbeat.
I want the economy back.
Drumbeat.
I want the economy back. My state is hemorrhaging back. Money. It's hemorrhaging jobs. Do you think I want people sitting at home? Food. I want them alive. That's what I want. And I want to minimize first. There is a way to do, but don't ask the American people to choose one over the other.
Thanks for checking out.
Outer space, these images. Outer space, these images. Outer space, these images.
Window in the belly of the space station.
Outer space, these images.
You don't seem to see the same shot over and over again because your orbit changes.
Yeah, our orbit stays fixed. It's sort of like a ball in a string.
Outer space, these images.
It was
outer space, these images.
Appealing to me.
Can you see outer space, these images? When you're in outer space, can you see like outer space, these images?
Up or something like that. Depends.
Yeah. Outer space, these images.
I think you saved
outer space, these images.
Oh, and yeah, the Amazon also.
Would it be possible to have, I mean, do we have a camera? It's 92 minutes that could give us just 92 minutes of what it looks like and what you could see from your eye?
Do your best to take pictures of it. It's just flat and gorgeous to see.
But I mean, what we saw, is that anything like
the visuals?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they're the most compelling visuals of any space movie ever made. Huge, vast expanse. The movie, if you want to get some feel of what it's like, that movie shows it the best.
Oh, wow.